Hi, I'm Natasha Lockhart. Welcome to Studio Chatter. Today we'll visit with the 2023 Miss Spanish Fork.
Yay.
And I'm Stacey Beck. We'll talk about how learning a musical instrument has a positive impact on kids.
And I'm Angie Murphy. We'll also talk how our habits can motivate us throughout the day.
And we'll talk about the Lux Medical Spa and their services. All that and more coming up on Studio Chatter. Welcome to Studio Chatter. What's been going on in your worlds?
Our worlds collided a couple times.
Yeah,
well,
they
at least
did.
once at Miss Spanish Fork, right?
Yeah, that was fun. That was super fun. I felt like it went so smoothly and just short and sweet, probably because less contestants, right?
Yeah.
But it was just beautiful, like the way it rolled out.
Good
I
job,
thought.
Natasha.
Yeah,
Judges
really
chair.
good.
Yes.
You did a really great job.
judges, right?
Yes.
Great panelists, rather.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. All this terminology in the
Right?
Miss America organization.
Right.
So is it a pageant or a competition?
A competition. A pageant. Who's to know, right?
And then what is there? It used to be SSI, now it's CSI.
CSI.
Which stands
So,
for?
Community Service Initiative.
Okay. Good luck staying up on all this.
Right, I know. It changes all the
ever-changing.
time. Right.
Well, it'll
Yeah.
be fun to have Lexi here and
Yes,
get to
maybe
know her.
maybe she can keep us straight, right?
Yeah, maybe so.
It was fun though. I liked having like assigned seating. Was that new just this year? Was that last year too?
I think last year we had it too.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember, but I kind of liked that.
Yeah.
Even though I showed up kind of just right as it was starting, but it was good.
I think
good.
generally you have assigned seating when you buy your tickets.
Interesting. I've never paid attention.
And you got Bo off to Texas?
I got Bo off to Texas. He's down there just working
Good.
away today. And he drove straight through. It's like 15 hours, guys.
You alone?
Well, his good friend Isaac is going with him,
Oh,
so they
good.
just tandem.
Okay.
They each drove a car, but yeah. He's like, I had one meal and we just kind of just cruised right through, but
What's he expecting right now for weather?
they were like in the 80s.
Already.
But it's kind of like us, like they're kind of a little bit further south, but they kind of
Okay.
have the same weather. And then they'll go up to New Mexico once in a while to sell, which is very similar to us, but then when it gets in the
Is
summer,
it
it's like
pest
100.
or solar? Remind me.
It's security and solar.
Oh,
Yeah.
security.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got it.
Okay, so the weather again has been very hit and miss. Have you been spending time in your yards?
Yes.
Last week, no, because it was a little cooler.
Right. I feel like every time we want to go outside, it's been like we have to pull back a little
But
bit.
guys, I did. I spent a ton of time in my yard. I
Last
drove
week?
by.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I went to get my retainer from Dr. Shrapnel's, and I was driving through Payson Backway, and there was a little pop-up like floral shop.
Okay.
And I was just filling it, and I was like, I'm just gonna go wander in there for a minute. So I go in there, and I ended up running into like an old neighbor from where I used to live growing up. She knew my parents. We just sat and chatted. And then it just inspired me. I just bought a few plants from them. So I went home and I'm redoing like the backyard, even though the front yard looks like crap. Like the bushes are like needing to be trimmed,
Yeah.
but my backyard's looking nice.
Isn't that where you
well,
spend
good.
your time though,
It is.
with your family and
Yeah.
everything?
Yeah.
But I usually like presentation to be nice, but
I'm
still have
sure
time.
we'll
Yeah.
get there. Yes. So with your retainer, is it permanent or is it the Invisalign? Are you
I have
doing
both.
the traditional?
So I
or-
have permanent top and bottom. So this
Okay.
one's a wire down here. This one, it's like composite. They kind of line the top with. So it's just like a little stop.
Very nice. They look
and
so
then I
nice.
do like Invisalign
Okay.
for the top and bottom at night.
How long do you have to do that?
For forever. Like these will stay in for forever. And then the Invisalign up top every night when I go to bed.
So I wonder why they make you do Invisalign now.
He just says, it's kind of like Invisalign, but it's called an Essex retainer. It's just
Okay.
a clear retainer. But he's like, it just holds everything together. Like we're holding this, but then that holds like all the back teeth from crowding in.
My Barrett's getting to the end and she's just dying. So
Right?
we're still on the bands and she's like, oh, just like
That was the worst.
six more weeks, or yeah, about 6 more weeks or something.
so this summer she'll get them off.
Yes.
Oh, she'll
yes.
love it.
So-
But I'm like, for forever? Like retainers for forever?
And that's
know that,
really
yeah.
what they are,
He's
right?
like, it
they
moves.
call them like permanent forever, retainers forever. I guess if you want to keep them
Yeah.
nice and straight forever, right?
Well, because a lot of people our age are going back in.
Yeah,
getting
totally. And
a
he's like,
second set.
you don't want to come back again when you're 70. It's true.
No, you're like, it was bad enough coming back again.
50, yep, 50 is
Yeah.
Tempted.
So Natasha, what's on your agenda for
Oh
the
my
next
gosh,
couple weeks?
everything. So May is just crazy, right?
Yeah.
So we're at the end of everything. So the end of school. So there's, track meets and end of year testing. And what else are we doing? Recitals. So there's end of year recitals. There's a skating competition. There's, what else are we doing? There's a gala. They've decided
Ice
to do
skating gala?
No, so the dance studio is doing kind of a gala for some of the older dancers. So there's like a red carpet gala. So
Oh,
there's going to be
wow.
an event for moms and daughters. So that should be kind of fun.
And where will that be held?
The event center at the end of town.
So you'll dress,
Yeah, River Ridge. Yes,
you'll dress up?
Yes, I will
Oh my
dress up. So
gosh.
that will be kind of fun.
Oh, that is
Present
fun.
their kind of award type thing. Yes.
I like it.
And then then the end of year recital. So that's kind of the Disney production.
Oh, yeah. I
Yes.
remember we talked about that. And what is she doing in that? A bunch of?
Pocahontas. So that's
perfect.
Yes.
Yep.
So that's her role this year. So ice, soccer, skating, putting that all in a bow, and then saying bye-bye to
the end of the year.
To the end of the year, yes, and a welcome to summer, and then Grandma and Grandpa come home for the summer, which is
That's good.
so awesome. Yes, and I'll say go to the farm, please, for
Yes.
a couple of weeks,
Oh,
and have
that's
swimming
awesome.
lessons or something. So it'll be awesome. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Good.
Good. Speaking of Disneyland, my daughter's in Disneyland right now with her family.
Which one?
Brianna.
Bria's?
So
Oh.
Fun.
I have the kids on Find My Friends. So it's just fun because when they're in Disneyland, you can see like what ride they're like in line.
Oh, yeah, like
on
detailed
and
stuff,
everything.
right?
I'm like, oh, are you about to get on the Jungle Cruise?
So
it's kind of
that's
fun
fun
to
for
see.
them,
And
their
then,
little town.
Yeah, Colton and his wife were in New Zealand for 2 weeks, and it's just fun to get on that map. And I like to see them all tucked in at night, but then when they're like all around traveling, it's fun to like click over in New Zealand and be like, oh, he's right by the ocean. No,
And
that's
then
not
don't
the
you feel
ocean.
like you're
That's
kind
like
of
a
a part
river.
of it?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I know where you're
yeah,
at.
he's traveling on this road.
Oh,
So,
that's fun for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
did you watch any time at all the coronation?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Oh.
When they sat his crown on him and like had to like get it on, and Rhett's like, that probably weighs 30 pounds.
Oh, I
And I was
bet.
like, right? And then holding like both of the, I don't know what their staff.
Okay. I know
What
that
are they called?
right? Yeah. Okay.
Right?
I know that we're going to break, but just because we talked about
Yes.
it. So any thoughts at all about Harry?
He chose the life he
I
did.
know, right? But just
He was on the third
crazy,
row.
right? I
Yep.
know.
All alone.
I
Yep.
know. Crazy, huh?
I know.
Yeah.
Gosh, a new era
It
over
is.
there.
Totally.
All right, we have a great show coming up. Next on Studio Chatter, we'll learn more about the Lux Medical Spa. Welcome back to Studio Chatter. The Lux in Lux Medical Spa stands for luxurious skincare, body rejuvenation, and a spa wellness experience. To learn more about Lux, let's welcome Savannah Pitchford, Avery Evans, and Dr. Sarah Smith to the table. Welcome, ladies.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, we have been trying to do this for how many years?
Going on 3 years.
Literally, yes, 3 years. So the first year,
Yes.
you were downstairs, right?
Yep.
And I say downstairs because you're downtown Spanish Fork. You were. And then you've since moved upstairs.
And when
You moved up.
where are you located? So for the viewers that don't know where your spa is.
We are in the upstairs of the main plaza, upstairs by like Cold Stone, Crumble, all those. So just upstairs.
I know you know where that's at.
Yes, we all do.
Everybody goes to Crumble.
So, and this was your brainchild, right, Savannah?
Yeah, Sarah and I,
okay.
we've known each other for a really long time. My dad and her husband have been friends for a long time, and we worked in OB together and just kind of had this idea for a long time, and yeah, decided one night we were going to make it happen.
And what was your passion or desire behind it? Like, what were you wanting to introduce into Spanish Fork community?
Both of us kind of felt like down in Utah County that we didn't have like a step up med spa. There was nothing that our people down here, everyone drove to Orem or to Lehigh.
Yeah.
And we just felt like, we could bring something awesome down here to people. So
We always wanted to open something that was cutting edge, pushing the envelope as far as all of the opportunities for medical spa and aesthetics. And so we had talked about it for years and then finally kind of had the opportunity to bring it to life. But yeah, we just wanted it to be the very best of the best and bring it to our hometown.
Okay.
So when you think of a traditional spa, what type of services do we think of? So maybe massage, facials.
Pedicures.
So what sets you apart
Sure.
when you add medical?
Yeah, so I think the medical part comes in when you do add the MD or doctor to it. And that part comes where you do true medical aesthetics. We have massage therapists that specialize in different types of medical massages. Our estheticians are high-level estheticians. They are specialists in their field. They've been highly trained past just your regular schooling. And then having a doctor on site allows you to perform high level of treatments in each of the areas, including blood work, IV therapy, hormone therapy. We just brought on the new Beautifil, and so that allows us to do laser lipo-assisted body contouring and different things like that. So it does change your typical relaxing spa experience into a medical spa experience.
Avery, what's your role there at Lux?
I am
She's the boss.
the manager.
We really listen to.
Okay, so you oversee everybody.
Yes.
Do you
Just make
schedule
sure
appointments?
everything's going good. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Work at the front, but then also in the back doing things, making sure it's up and running.
And how long have you been there?
2 years.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
most
A while.
of the time.
Yeah. I love
Right.
it. It's a good place to be.
Oh, awesome. So what are your favorite services that you offer the community? Like if each of you chose one thing to highlight, what would it be?
I love Botox. I actually love educating people in our community about Botox because I can't tell you how many people come in and they're like, oh, I would never do Botox. And I'm like, oh, tell me why. And they think it gives you big lips. And that is not what Botox does. And so I think just educating people on, you can look naturally beautiful and still have Botox and filler and good skincare and all the things
Okay.
without looking overdone. So,
Awesome.
yeah, I love the nurse part of it.
So let's talk injections. There's all kinds of things that you can inject there, right? So, so fillers in lips, in wrinkles, in there's even weight loss type of injectables. So tell us about those sorts of things even.
Sure. So we do offer a full spectrum of facial fillers, both preventative injections as far as like your facial goes. We have a very strong weight loss program as far as the results that we see. It's been completely life-changing. I had a patient come in today saying that exact thing. She's like, this has completely changed my life. I used to have back pain, ankle pain, leg pain. I'm off almost all of my medicines that used to keep me sleepy all day because my body hurt so bad from the weight. She's like, this has just completely changed my life. And I think that's my favorite part of what I do at Lux is getting people healthy and then keeping them healthy, feeling their best and staying their best with both the weight loss and the hormone replacement therapy as well as the IV therapy. But yeah, we do offer full spectrum injectables as far as beautification goes and prevention for the face. And then we offer IV vitamins, we do offer vitamin injections, the weight loss injections, which have been life-changing for so many of our patients, and then hormones and other preventative medicine.
Okay.
You also can sit down with men right?
Yes, we actually have a large male population. It's kind of funny sometimes when men come in, they're like, oh, am I in the right place? But a lot of times on the days that I'm there, the clinic's filled with men.
Yeah.
Takes their wife to get them in one time, and then they're willingly in every other time.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Because
sure.
they feel so
Secretly
good.
making appointments for
And
themselves.
are they doing the Botox and fillers, or what things are specifically offered for men?
Yeah, we do have a lot of men who do love the skincare, facials,
Okay.
Botox fillers. A large part of our patient population, it's the massages, the medical massages, the hormone replacement therapy, testosterone therapy,
IV therapy.
and the IVs.
Yeah, we have a lot of athletes and like guys who love to work out that just say the IVs are incredible.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah.
Wow.
And what sort of product lines do you offer there? Because I know sometimes when you go into a spa or anywhere really, like it's a big candy store for me. Sometimes I want this and I want that, and it's sometimes I think it's part of the education as well. You're like,
course.
well, and I think maybe even for different age groups, because maybe there's a different product for maybe a 20-year-old or a 30-year-old or a 40-year-old, and maybe once you have the facial or I don't know microdermabrasion or those sorts of things, what do I do after the fact?
Yeah, I think that's actually extremely important. And we've tried to simplify it by carrying 2 medical grade skincare lines. We carry ZO and Elta MD, which are both fantastic, and they can be used for almost anybody, any age of whatever you're trying to do. Our estheticians and our nurses are well trained in choosing a regimen that fits for you. So those are our skincare lines, and we've tried to keep it simplified so that it's not overwhelming, but it works for you.
Okay.
And then we do have all of the fun stuff in our product room, which
Lots of
is really
It's a problem.
very fun.
All of our
But
paycheck
Avery
goes
helps
towards
us with that part.
We have Made by Mary's. If you need a Mother's Day gift, stop by.
Graduation.
Graduation,
There's a lot of
it's all
things
the
going on
things in May.
Yeah.
We also just started carrying Just Ingredients, which is
Oh,
like
really?
the protein
Right.
powders,
So good.
and it's so good. So we have that here. And then we just have like fun little, like, just little gifts, teacher gifts. I don't know, just like
Self-care
Easy
is
gifts.
always
Yeah.
important
Yes.
year-round.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
Yes.
We have the Capri Blue,
Yes,
candles, bath bombs, those types of things. We have a new line of bath bombs and little
Sugar
lotion
scrubs.
scrubs and things. We carry the satin pillowcases and
A little bit
face
of everything.
scrubbers and
Yeah.
things.
We
So
want
yeah,
everybody to
it's-
feel like they can come in there and choose something and afford something.
Perfect.
yeah,
And I'm guessing you sell gift cards,
we do.
which is always, that fits everybody, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Actually, they are 10% off this month. So if you want
the
a
whole month
$100
of
gift
May?
card, it's $90.
Oh, that's
And so
nice to
on.
know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. I
Okay.
mean, there's a whole spectrum. There's a whole menu. There's a whole list of items, I'm sure.
Yes.
So if anybody wants a consultation with a doctor or with maybe even a facial mapping or anything that they
For
want to
sure.
set
Oh,
up,
for sure.
the
yes,
best
we
way.
always do
Okay.
consults for sure.
So Avery's your girl, right?
Call me up.
Okay. All right.
You guys are awesome. Thank you for coming in.
Yeah, of
After
course.
3 years.
Yes. Don't stay away. Come back again, please.
Good luck,
Love
lady.
to. Thank you
Okay,
guys so
thanks
much.
Thank you. Coming up next, we'll meet the new Miss Spanish Fork. Welcome back to Studio Chatter. Her crown is fresh and new, but she wears it well. Let's welcome Lexi Hill, our new 2023 Miss Spanish Fork, to the table.
Yay!
I'm so excited.
This is so fun to have you here, like brand new.
Love it.
By the end of the year, we just get to know you so well, and you'll see us and hug us, and hopefully love us back.
I already do.
I just feel like she's just a fresh, sweet face, and I'm just so excited for you guys. I was chatting with her on the couch for a quick minute, and I love what you said about having all 5 contestants. Like, you guys didn't have to say goodbye to each
No,
other.
I love
You
it.
all get to work together,
Yeah.
which I loved. Yeah, I just love your little attitude.
I love them so much already.
Yeah,
And it's like I've known them for like a month, but already we're all like besties.
Oh, that's fun.
Really sweet.
Lexi, tell us a little bit about you and your family.
I was born in Cedar City and I moved here when I was
Oh,
I
okay.
think. And I've lived here ever since, and I just love Spanish Fork. I'm a Spanish Fork girl.
Okay.
Except I go to Maple Mountain. My dad worked for the city for quite a while, actually. He's a surveyor. And I have 4 younger siblings that I love so much. They're crazy, but keeps it fun.
Boys and girls?
Yeah, so I have a sister, and then 2 brothers, and then a baby sister.
Okay.
Oh, fun.
And tell us your parents' names.
Chad and Jamie Hill.
Okay. Awesome.
Well, you have a beautiful new float to ride on this summer. So what are you?
do?
Yeah, yes,
know,
yes, yeah. So what are you looking forward to this summer?
Oh my gosh. All of Fiesta Days is just like, I get giddy thinking about it.
As you should.
It just
great
makes me so
connection.
excited. But like, probably the rodeo. I just love the rodeo. I feel like a cowgirl. I'm definitely not, but I feel
Take
like
it with me. I buy
I will.
cowgirl stuff.
I
like,
told my dad, I'm like,
yes,
I'm
we're
getting
really
boots
into
this year.
the we're really into the cowgirl thing right now. It's okay.
But we love it, right?
Yeah.
We love to dress up like
Yes,
it.
I do. And
Yeah.
I'm so excited for the rodeo.
oh, that's fun. So it's been, what, a week and 2 days?
Yeah.
Right, as of right now when filming. What has your past week looked like?
Sunday, I took a long nap.
As you should. It's okay. It's okay.
And then Monday, what did I do? Oh, that was the day I did it was Tuesday. I did all my service. So what I did is I got my royalty and the Little Miss girls, and we went and filled sandbags because that was like a huge fiasco.
Yes.
Trying not to let everyone's houses flood. So we went and filled sandbags, and from there, I raced over to the first city council building and like changed in the bathroom. And hopefully
And
I
it
was
just
all
looked
like
beautiful.
sweaty.
Did she? Oh, I'm sure she
Yeah,
did. I
we're all
can't imagine
special
that.
dressed up.
And yeah, and I got to just introduce myself to the city council, and then we walked through the library after, and I love that building.
Oh,
It's so
good.
pretty.
It is, isn't it? Good. And what else have you done?
I got to meet with Jen and just go over everything and get excited about Miss Utah, which is over a year away. And
And she gave you the calendar for the year, right?
I think so.
Did you feel overwhelmed at that point at all? Where you were
No,
like,
I'm just so excited for everything.
She's got more energy than we do, guys.
I bet you're
bring it
not
on.
overwhelmed because you didn't you already compete in Outstanding Teen?
I did, yeah.
So you're no stranger to pageants,
No.
right? So you've kind of already been that route before, and you're probably already going to Miss Utah in June to watch,
Yes.
right, as a spectator. So I'm sure you'll be taking notes.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm cheating a little bit because I was the judge's chair. So I sat in on actually your interview. So you and I have a little something in common. So I actually like the Mexican restaurant.
Oh my gosh, I love that place. I feel bad I don't even know the real name, but it's just
So-
Mexican on Main.
No, it's okay. It's okay because I was wondering.
Mi
if-
Rancherito.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
what it is.
I love it too.
But it's not. But it's not Mi Rancherito.
not
See
now.
that? So that's the funny
Well,
part.
it's without a sign right now.
Because I was going to say, you and I both like the no-name Mexican restaurant because it's really not Mi Rancherito anymore.
Yeah.
So the kids
We've
and
gotta
I
figure it out.
So we called it Su Casa for a long time, but then it
okay.
wasn't really Su Casa because then they had to. I guess they had to change the name because then somebody got mad because they called it that. So now when we go there too, we just call it. Let's go to the little Mexican place that has
Mexican
no
on
name.
Main.
Yeah.
That's what they
I
should
always
call it.
But I just thought it was that was so cute because you're like, I like the little place on, on Main Street because I like it too, but it doesn't really have a name yet.
Yeah.
So when you find out, we'll go together. How's
That's
that?
when
Yes.
you really know the
That
town,
place.
when you know the little no-name restaurant.
literally no name?
right.
Literally.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
So I
Tell
thought
us,
it was
what
kind of
things
fun.
were you involved in high school?
I've been on the drill team for the last 3 years. I
Okay,
just
3 years.
finished with that, like dance with for the last time with my team, which was
Oh.
heartbreaking. Drill is hard, but it is so worth it. I love those girls and my team and that sport so much. And just going to all of the football games and basketball
Yeah.
games, it's just been so
And I love
much
that you
fun.
call it a sport because it is.
Oh,
My
yeah.
girls did drill as well. And you
Yeah.
guys work out, I think, just as hard or
Oh.
harder than any other
Oh,
athlete
I will
at the
stand
school.
by that. till the
Yep,
day I
you
die.
never stop.
No,
Yep.
year-round sport.
Yeah, and then supporting everyone else too, which is
That's
really
one
cool.
of my favorite parts.
Yep.
Is the football games. They're so much fun.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your initiative. I'm not sure exactly. CSI?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, my CSA is called The Ripple Effect. I just have fallen in love with it so much. It's all about service and kindness, and not just the Saturday morning, like, let's go do a service project type of thing. It's in the little everyday actions. When someone does an act of kindness towards you, repay it by doing an act of kindness towards someone else. It's the small things, like when someone leaves a flower on my car, or when someone pays for my mozzarella sticks at Arby's. Like, those are the things that make my day, and I really think that those are the things that make a difference.
I remember I was in the mock interviews, and I remember that having an impact, like me going home thinking, what can I do to have a ripple effect? So it's a
special.
really powerful and personal initiative.
And
So I
like
can't
something
wait
so
to see what
small
you do.
that can make that big ripple.
Exactly.
Because I remember Chick-fil-A, someone paid for me, and I was like, oh, someone loves me. And so then I paid for someone,
It
and he
takes
said
like
it went like,
$5
okay,
to make
yes.
someone's day, and
Totally.
at most $5.
Right.
But it's just so incredible how small actions can make such a big difference,
Yeah.
and that they can keep going too. It doesn't stop at that, because you left with an experience and a better outlook on everything that day.
Right, changed my day. Yep.
That was awesome. That good choice.
Yes, very good choice. That was a
choice.
good one.
I just love it so much.
So I love the competition, and I love that it was intimate and that you get to keep all of those attendants with you. What does that mean to you?
It's just so much fun. I went into the competition knowing 2 of them before. I knew Cadence and I knew Emma just from other pageants in school. And then I also got to meet Annette and Maddie, and I love them so much, all 4 of them. We just already know that
Have
this
clicked.
year is going to be so much fun. It's so great.
That's good.
Well, I can
the
tell
more the
that.
merrier,
Yes,
right?
I can tell that you have a great heart anyway. And when you were talking about even drill and the girls and the passion that you have with them, I also believe that you have a passion for piano.
Yes, I
I could tell that when you were when you were playing the piano. So when do you have time? When do you have time to practice your piano?
Goodness. I don't sleep very much. Sometimes I stay up way too late because
But you
of
can't practice then because
practices.
mom and dad want to go be in bed.
Yeah, just whenever I have time, really. My favorite thing to do is just sit down anytime I see a piano or anytime I see my piano. Is just sit down and go through all of my old songs and playing them, because sometimes I don't have time for the 2-hour-long practices. But just taking those little moments and fitting it in whenever I can is so important. And I also get to teach piano, which I
Oh, you do?
love so much.
How
So
many
that-
students do you have?
Right now, I think I have 4.
Okay.
And they're just so precious, because it's like my little sister's friends. So they're like 8, 9, and
Yeah.
they're so cute. I just love it. And the moment you can see, like, when it clicks in their mind and that, like, everything makes sense and they love playing the piano, I'm like, oh, like, I live for those moments. They're so
Well,
cute.
I wanted to bring up something else. I was super impressed at the night of the pageant, and you won the award of the Miss Academic, right?
Yes.
What was the official
I
title
think
of
just
that?
the academic
Oh,
award.
okay. Like, that's so impressive. Tell us,
Thank
is that
you.
GPA, ACT? So
Just-
yours was the highest out of all 5 of the girls,
yeah,
right?
so it's GPA, ACT, and then just like the classes you've taken and how hard
my
they are.
gosh.
But
We've got an all-around winner, guys.
Oh my gosh.
She's like
Good little soul
superwoman,
and
yes.
super smart.
making all kinds of impact everywhere.
Well, my
So-
son-in-law wants to learn to play the piano, so
teach
maybe they're taking on more students. I gave them mine, and that's his goal. So
Yeah.
that's really neat. that
Well,
you're sharing
I'm
that.
sure that you will be back here again.
I
Oh, yes.
Enjoy
Yes.
your year.
I will.
We're so excited
Have
for
the
you.
best.
Thank you
Thanks
guys.
so much.
You're welcome.
Do you have habits that help motivate you? Stay with us to learn about ours. Welcome back to Studio Chatter. What do we do daily that helps guide our life goals and results? Let's talk about our habits and how they motivate us.
Ooh, this could be a fun one, Natasha.
I know. Stacy
So fun.
brought this up, and I was like, what's my habit? My number one habit is having a Diet Coke every morning, right when I wake up. So thus,
Every
I'm
day,
a big
every
house
day when you
drink.
wake up?
every day and every night. I mean, I have a Diet Coke all the time.
Well, thank you for
It's
these
part of my
drinks.
habit.
Okay.
So with that, when I crack a Diet Coke or open up a bottle, it puts a smile on my face. It gives me a little bit of joy, and I think it's a habit to jumpstart my day. Like it's I'm awake, I'm going, you got this, Angie. Like I fuel myself with something that makes me happy, which is so silly. I know this is very unhealthy. It's not like a veggie or something, but to me, it's connected my habit with the starting of my day and bringing myself a little bit of joy. So
Okay.
there we go, one habit.
That's so interesting, like the littlest things of different habits. Huh?
Right, right. And not
Yeah.
even knowing, like, it could be a bad habit, but to me, it like brings me joy. And when I'm done with work or something, and then I'm like, I'm gonna get me a Diet Coke. It just brings
like
me
a
a little bit of
reward,
joy.
too.
Yes, it's a reward too.
Yeah.
So like I completed the day, get one. Start the day, get one.
Did you get in trouble at all when you had braces?
No,
I'm
Dr.
such a-
Trapnell's so kind.
Oh, I'm
I'm
such
50.
a-
He's probably like, whatever.
I'm such a
No,
worry wart. I would have been like, oh, I
No,
don't think I should
brushed
have that.
well.
Oh,
Yes,
okay,
Natasha.
all
It's
right.
fine. Yes.
Well, this book I had last year. Have you? It's
Yes.
very popular. Atomic Habits by James Clear. Mm-hmm. Did you
We
read
have
it,
it.
or you have it?
we
Mo
have
has
it. Yep.
I'll get it. I don't have it.
I highly recommend it. It has so much good insight. Also, if you follow James Clear on Instagram, like nuggets from this book are always popping up.
Okay.
So I love it. But a couple things he said is, instead of thinking, I have to do this, think I get to. So for examples, exercise. He said many people associate exercise with a task that drains your energy, but instead associate it with telling yourself, I get to go run in the morning and build up my endurance and get faster. Like, change the way you look.
So like instead of saying, I have to make dinner, I get to make dinner. We have food to fuel our bodies.
Yes.
Yes. So just
Exactly.
change the tone of the chore or the task.
And I mean, exercise, finance, meditation, there's so many different things, but you need to look at it like you're like taking it in and using it for good. Because if
Yeah.
you're like, I have to do this, you're not going to want to do it.
Right.
Well, I know exercise is very important for you, and you set that aside every day. Do you do it every day?
5 to 6 days a week.
That is so good.
It is a good habit. And I will say the last week I've just kind of felt under the weather, and I'm still not 100%, but I need it. Like
Yeah.
this morning, my husband was like, maybe just take it easy today. But I thought to myself, I haven't exercised for a week. Like, my body truly needs it. I
And
need
the
to be
mind.
outside. My
The
mind,
connection.
yes. And then I think it's finally spring and I get to go outside and exercise. So I do need it. But I thought I wanted to bring this topic up because I'm like, we're at the age of life. We have probably created some decent habits,
Right.
or maybe not so decent. So I want to know what your
Right.
Well, I think that's true of any habit too, especially when you get into a good habit in particular. When you get out of that habit, then especially exercise, that you do crave it or need it, or
Yeah.
it becomes a part of something
Or
that
like
you.
I crave exercise, and then Angie's craving this.
Yeah.
Right.
I
Right.
crave that too. So I'm not dissing on you.
You can
Well,
just-
and it can be big, it can be small. So for me, and maybe it's silly, maybe so. For me, my daily habit is I have to make my bed
I
every
was
day.
gonna bring that up.
Yes.
I do too.
And I think it was a general, or there's
Yes.
yes, and there's something to this, right?
Yes, yep.
But it's so true. If it's the one thing, if it's the one thing that you do every day, at least it's the one thing that you did every day that you completed,
That you can
right?
be like,
that
done.
you can, yes. And there's something for me that I'd love to check that off. So yes, making my bed
Making your bed.
is super important to
Angie,
me.
what's one of yours?
I would say, which is so funny, but putting a smile on my face. And I learned that from my mother. We go through hard things and good things. But I remember when I was going through a hard thing one time, and she said, you're never going to get past it and over it. Like, you can take medication, self-help, all this stuff, but you've got to choose to have a better day or to have a better outcome. And so she's like, do that with a smile, do that with serving someone. So I just chose it. It's like, when I get up in the morning, I'm gonna smile and I'm gonna just like put my best foot forward, right? Go in all 10. And it may be a crappy day and I may be down at a 1 by the end of the day, but try and start out my day with that mentality of like, it's gonna be a 10. Like, I'm gonna make a difference.
Yeah. I love my morning habit. Like, my alarm is set for 6:45. And I look forward to like that first 30 to 45 minutes of my healthy habits before I go to exercise. But then as I'm thinking about this, I'm also at a stage of life that I've had a good night's sleep because I don't have little kids. I
Yes.
can wake up, no one's there at home needing me. I'm not getting kids to carpool or taking a carpool or fixing lunches or breakfast.
It's totally different.
So it is.
Yeah.
Like, I can sit here and say, oh, I have this all
I
figured
have
out, so
45
let me tell
minutes
you.
to just like zen
Yeah,
and do
and
my
then
yoga.
I work out, but I'm just like, because I'm at a stage of life that I can get to that.
Right.
Before, it was like, get the 2 older kids to school, put the 2 younger kids in the stroller, try and get out on a walk. You know.
So your habits were diversified.
Yeah, just like all over.
Sometimes they happen, sometimes they not.
Yeah.
Natasha, you're probably right in the middle of all that.
But because of that, because I enjoy my time in the morning too. One thing that I have as a habit for me, and I try and force it as a habit the night before, is for the kids to prepare their things the night before, to set out their.
love that.
to
I
set
set out my
their
outfit
things.
every night.
Yes,
I just feel like I can wake up and one less thing.
Yes, pick out your things the
Actually,
night
2
before.
outfits.
Yeah.
A backup in case I'm not feeling the original.
I was going to say, I can't do that because I have to see what mood I'm in that day. Because like you wear a lot of black, I have to be in a mood to wear black.
See, and I just have to wake up early for work, so I've got to kind of have like that one checked off my list, so it's not empty.
I love
I just don't want any fighting in the
Right.
morning.
Yeah.
I'm like, you choose it the night before. There's no calamity in the morning, and sometimes we even choose what breakfast we're going to have in the morning. So then there's no even.
It just makes your morning go smoother.
Exactly.
So I think if we could give any advice to our viewers is like, maybe choose an area that you could like make a little bit smoother.
Yes.
And then have it stack. So if you're like picking out your outfit, you could say, after I get dressed, then I will, I don't know, text a friend every morning and let them know I'm thinking about them.
Yes.
Like whatever your habit.
Yeah, and they
you're
say like
wanting to
connecting.
improve.
Yes, connect it with something that you're already doing,
Yeah.
right?
I love that, the habit stacking. I
Yes.
thought that's interesting.
And before we go to break here, our producer Pete, his photo a day. He makes that his habit every day.
Which he gave to me. It became a habit.
Yep.
And it was tricky for a minute, but then it just
So,
becomes easier.
Cool things for a lot of people.
Yeah,
Yep.
thanks ladies.
Can music lessons have a big influence on our children? Stay with us to learn more. Welcome back to Studio Chatter. Learning to play an instrument could be a challenge, but are there other real benefits for the learner? Let's find out with Mark Booth from Booth Music.
Hi, Mark.
Welcome.
Hey, everybody. How are you?
This is going to be fun to have you. I want to start off because it used to be Booth Brothers. If you have lived in Spanish Fork for, longer than 5 years, you probably were very familiar with Booth Brothers.
Yeah.
Then there was a transition to Booth Music. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so there's been a couple of things that have been really standard in the Booth household, and one of them is music. Started with my grandparents, Velma and Wayne, who lived right here in Spanish Fork.
Love those names.
Yep, they're just amazing, and no longer here, but they are a big reason why Booth Brothers and Booth Music now exists. Started back in the early 80s. My uncle Steve. It actually started earlier than that with my uncle Lou Wolford, some of you know.
Yeah.
But we won't go into that part of the story today. So Steve and his brother Mike ended up kicking off Booth Brothers Music in 83, 84.
Okay.
Ran it for many, many years. It started originally with Steve having like about one guitar up on the wall and teaching lessons.
Wow.
And then realized I think he could make some money with the retail side, and so started stocking it full of instruments and ran it for many, many years. It was the income for multiple families. And he approached me at whenever that was, 3 years ago or something, about would you like to buy the business? At one point I had told him that if you ever want some money, I might invest in it. And that changed significantly when he said, do you want to buy it? And I love Spanish Fork. We'll never leave. I love music, and so it just made a whole lot of sense. We still got a lot of family running it. My sister's been running the music school portion. Cousin that's the general manager, another cousin that does all the HR work.
Okay.
And then a whole bunch of other employees.
You kept everyone all together.
Wow.
Yep. Kind of
So
fun.
we just transitioned to music just because it's a little bit different avenue of the family, maybe.
The brothers are not there anymore.
Right. But
Lou
the family
Wolford is still teaching in the basement.
Is he?
Steve Booth is still teaching in the basement.
I love
two
it.
of our 13 teachers, and
Wow.
yeah, the Booths and the Wolfords and the Johnsons are very ingrained in Spanish Fork and in the music world.
Well, and it sounds like you're going to be helping kids all summer long. Not just during the school year, but with summer transition. What things could they look forward to coming into your store?
So we have 300 plus students that come in every week for lessons, whether that's guitar, drums, piano, voice, and a host of others. And so we are, if you go to boothmusic.com/lessons, you'll see we're kicking off a whole bunch of, there'll be camps and things this summer for kids. That'll be updated over the next couple of weeks, but you can sign up today to get the first info. But there'll be all kinds of camps and opportunities to learn and love music.
Oh, I love that. I always roll back to my son took from Booth Brothers to learn to play the guitar. And there was one of his teachers was just so cool, like found a connection with him and a type of music that he loved to get him to practice, because I think that practicing is what makes you be a better player, apparently. What is your favorite aspect of like teaching the child, or how do they like initially learn to love that and want to do it on their own?
Yeah, I think that a lot of it is just persistence by parents. My parents, we all played. It wasn't a question or an if we wanted to. We each played the piano, and we each played a string instrument. So I played the violin.
They let you choose?
Okay. Yeah, I played the violin. My older brother played the bass, and he plays anything he wants. He's one of those. He's the extra talented Booth.
Okay.
You just give him an instrument and he finds a way to play it.
Wow.
And then younger sister plays the cello and the piano, and we started at 5 a.m. every morning from the time we started piano at 4 or 5, at age 4 or 5, and then every morning we started about
just
5 a.m.
and
we had a piano upstairs and downstairs, and the strings would be done in other rooms. And
so before you went to school, like that was just part of it. Get up, practice.
Yep.
See, I needed to be just a meaner mom.
It had to be.
It happen.
It had to be habitual.
But there is something to that, and you never ever appreciate it until you're older, right?
Yeah.
I even have a connection to Steve, so I think even in my tween years, I think that he must be a visionary or something. There was a production, or we even had, I think, a traveling group, and I toured with him. There was like a group that we did, or some type of production, and we went over a few states and traveled and did some sort of a production with him. So that was sort of fun.
Wow.
But I do believe that. I think that there has to be persistence, and then you don't ever see it until much later, but learning to read the music and practice, and there's just, I don't know, something grateful many years later, and you're like, thanks, Mom and Dad.
And I think you're right. I think that so often, I'd love to tell you that my kids just sit down and practice every day. They don't.
Okay,
like
good.
it's oftentimes a fight, but I'm grateful that my mom somehow kept us going.
Totally.
It probably really paid off when I was in Mexico on a mission about 300 years ago, when all of a sudden I was the person who could play the piano of all of these people out in the congregation, and all of a sudden it was like, oh, I guess that was worth practicing 5 in the morning. And so I'm sure grateful, but I wasn't always very grateful when I had to wake up at 5 in the morning to
Right,
practice.
and now my son-in-law is 31, and he wants to learn to play the piano. He was never given the opportunity. My girls did, and they had to be able to play a hymn at church, and then they could give up, the lessons. But now I gave him my piano, so now he's looking for someone to teach him. So.
I know a place.
You do?
I know a place, yeah.
Yep. So what are some of the benefits of children learning music or playing music?
I think there's multiple. One being just confidence. You can get that confidence as a child in a lot of ways, but music is a really great way. We just finished going to a performance last week of my daughter, who sang through most of High School Musical, and to see her on a stage feeling like, hey, I'm confident enough to do hard things, was a big deal. I think that, as your PBS stat will say, the brain works a little bit different. I think I'm able to pick up on things. I think that there's certain things with numbers that probably work better because you're used to counting the way that you have to count in music. So I think there's just countless blessings and benefits of learning to play musical instruments.
No, I was always told, well, maybe my mom just told me this, but I would be a better reader and a mathematician if I would play the piano. I don't know, but that's what she told me. But maybe there's something to do that. The reading of the music, the coordination skills, I don't know.
I do believe there's correlations. I think that there probably have been studies with that also, that there's something with math and memory and the music and like you've said, with counting. I remember even with metronomes and then being able to, speed things up a little bit,
and
being
maybe
able
it's
to
just
play.
the persistence and like the repetitive.
Yep.
habits, and maybe that transitions over into school. I don't know.
All I know is mothers are very rarely ever wrong, so that was a
Yeah,
good choice.
it was.
a good
Isn't
choice.
that the truth?
Well, and then music just soothes the soul, right? There's just something that takes away some of the anxieties, and I feel like our world is kind of filled with that. Have you noticed that with kids just needing a place to get away and to
Yes, yes, and yes. And I think it's so great for building relationships also. I know when I'm forcing the practice for lessons also, even when it's that dedicated time to practice lessons, I also believe building relationships. I think that when you have, it's even a common language. If you're able to read music or sit down with somebody, whether it's somebody can play the piano and you're able to play the violin with them and you can build something together, or you're making some music together, it's kind of building a different sort of relationship that isn't necessarily with a device, or that's completely different than anything else that they might be, building a different sort of relationship with.
Totally.
So I know we're going to be running out of time. I'm curious to know, you brought some guitars today.
I did. So we sell. If I brought somebody who was really talented to play this, you all would have been happier. We'll do that next time. We sell probably 700 or so fretted instruments over the past year. So that would be guitars, ukuleles, banjos.
Wow.
That is beautiful.
Beautiful, huh? Made by a group called Paul Reed Smith. We rent probably 400 plus band or orchestra instruments a year.
I rented my flute back in the day, yes.
We send instruments literally all over. We had one district in Los Angeles last year that we sent 1,900 flutes to.
Are you kidding?
So
Wow.
literally all
Contacting
over.
Booth Music here in Spanish Fork.
Yep, all over. I mean, we could show you places all over the U.S. where we're shipping instruments out on the regular.
Wow, show us this one. The wood grain on that is so
Beautiful, huh?
beautiful.
So this is made by a group called Luna. These are inlays. These things we had trouble keeping in. They kind of come in and they move really quickly because they're
Gorgeous.
beautiful.
Oh, but that's awesome. I'm so happy to know that people are making music and that music is alive and well, and that, it's still all over the place, all styles, right?
Totally.
Any style more popular than another right now?
I don't think more popular than another. I mean, we sell thousands and thousands of pieces of sheet music on top of that, which is
Okay.
crazy that people still buy that.
Right?
But thank
I would
you.
think it's electronic.
Thank you, everyone.
But no? Okay.
Thousands and thousands every year
Wow.
of whether it's piano methods or Broadway tunes or pop music or whatever else.
okay.
We have a big selection and people come in all the time.
Wow.
Can I just leave with us my biggest regret as a parent? Never buying a piano. I had a keyboard, we got them that far. You can get about a year's worth of lessons, but once you're past that, you need a piano.
Yep.
I wish I would have done it.
My mom gave me hers. I gave it to my oldest daughter. So hopefully that keeps passing on.
It's beautiful for you
Yes.
to be
Thank
giving
you
this
for taking
Yes.
it
to
on.
people.
Yep.
Thank you.
And we want you to come back and play.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There's more studio chatter coming up. Welcome back. What did we learn today?
That was fun.
So many things, right?
I know, I'm like,
Well, I got to sit on the couch during the Lux Medical Spa.
You were
that
in
was,
timeout,
guys,
right?
That was kind of nice.
What did you
to sit back and learn? I learned that I want to know more and that I want to go. Okay?
Right?
So maybe
Yeah,
hop
I'm
on the
interested in
website.
like their little weight loss injections. I've heard a lot of buzz about that, and I would love to know more. And then the fact that a big clientele is men, like I want to see more of what they offer that way. But I thought that was really interesting.
I've been kind of watching their feed a bit on Instagram also. So the fact that they can do some of this on-site lipo, I mean,
Yeah.
isn't that kind of crazy
Yes,
that
it
they can
is.
do
when you
that?
say on-site at their place, right?
Yes.
So the in-office lipo service. So I mean, they're actually
It's not a medical. Yeah.
So they're performing that in office. So
Oh, we should have got more out of them on that.
Well, they told us we can visit. So guys, I think that we need to visit
Yes.
and have stuff done.
Yes. So I think we're going to film on site, and
Okay.
and we can be guinea pigs, and we can do some injections. I think that would be a fun outing for us,
It's
right?
scary to be guinea pigs
right.
and injections. We've all tried Botox,
And it's scary.
It's scary.
I want to do it again, and then I was like, oh, I don't know. I
both
have
my
to move.
outcomes. I know. I'm just like, oh, I see pictures.
Oh,
and
they're
I'm thinking,
professionals. It'll be great.
well, they all tell us.
Okay, you can watch me.
Okay, we'll go support
My
you.
lip pierced when I did it last time, guys.
Yeah, we could have a whole segment on Botox gone wrong.
We should. We should do that.
But you have not had any bad experiences.
It's good. You're getting right.
We need to
the
call
right
her,
amount.
girl.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Maybe Lux is our new friend.
'Cause I know
Actually,
a lot
I
of
didn't even have
people
a
that go
chance
there.
to talk with Dr. Smith, Dr. Sarah. I actually sat down with her once and did a whole panel about hormone therapy, which is also very interesting too.
Yes.
So I'm vitamin deprived, so I did learn that about myself, and I probably should go back another time and even learn more.
Yeah.
So
Tosh, we didn't even
about
talk
ourselves.
about that.
I know. We didn't have a chance to touch on it. The time always goes very
It does.
quickly.
Yeah, it does.
But
Well,
there-
I love Booth Music being here right on Main Street where our kids can have a diverse learning experience.
And I love
with all
that
those
Mark
instruments.
has just jumped in and taken over that business and keep
And kept it
creating the
going.
legacy. Yeah, I think that's
And
really
we didn't even
neat.
say awesome facade.
Right.
Like the makeover
No,
on
I was going
the
to say
front.
that. The makeover is fabulous.
Which there's a lot of Main Street businesses doing that right now. I drive down. I'm
Happy
like,
about it.
Good
Yeah.
job, guys. Good job.
I would like our parking to change from like this to diagonal so we could get more parking.
We are looking at that,
Ooh.
but that would come with a median down the middle,
That's okay.
which people are up in arms about as well.
Yeah, but I'm fine with that. More parking on the main would be
Yeah.
great. So go, Mark.
Yeah, I love music, so that was a fantastic interview.
Yeah. I feel like he's really humble, like he has a lot more
That
that
he
he
could
could
say.
share. Yeah.
Did you have your kids in?
Yeah, Bo took
Just
his
Bo.
guitar down there, yeah.
But
And then my
the
girls,
girls-
took from someone in the ward.
Oh, but they did take piano.
They did take piano, yep. I made them both learn up to a
Oh,
hymn
yes,
that they could
kill a hymn.
perform.
Okay.
Just one.
And our new Miss Spanish Fork. Speaking
She's
of performing,
fab.
she is fabulous.
She took piano lessons apparently. because
Obviously,
She was
right.
nailed it.
persistent.
Yes, and determined mother to keep her going.
Yep.
But also, we know how busy drill is.
Yes.
To keep that talent up over the past 30 years.
And her academics and everything.
Yeah,
like,
because
wow.
she nailed it on the piano.
Yeah, she
She's
did.
talented
Yeah.
and passionate. Yeah. like you
Some
said.
people just have it all. She's one of those.
busy girl.
Yep.
Well,
Well,
good luck
guys.
wrapping up your May. It sounds
Likewise,
busy.
Yeah.
very busy all the time, though, right?
Yeah.
You choose these things. So.
No, and I don't even have anyone graduating. Well, Knox is graduating from kindergarten, so I'll be
Ooh.
going to that. But we have like multiple weddings in our extended family, and I mean, there's just a lot going on.
Yeah.
May's a busy time. I need everyone to settle down. Don't add anything else to me. June,
True.
right?
Then we'll be in summer.
Yeah,
Ah, the sweet days of summer.
it's coming.
Nice
Oh,
and
I
sweet.
saw the
Many
sun.
things to look forward
Thanks
to,
for our
right?
drinks today.
You're
Yes,
welcome.
thank
That
you.
was so
Thank you so
nice.
much. They're delish.
And people who don't like
Piece
the
of my
caffeine,
habit.
Angie got us our
Water.
flavored water.
Can do water.
Lots of varieties of yummy water.
Can do a decaf.
Yes.
I add 3 limes, so I feel like I'm getting my fruits.
Oh boy.
You do love your limes, don't you?
All right.
Thanks for being here with us. We hope you enjoyed the conversation. If you learned something new, please tell a friend about us.